Hi friends, today I am going to share with you how to make a marker holder that you see right here behind me. My students love using markers, and I really want them to be able to use markers because the colors are so vibrant and they're excited about writing and drawing and coloring and just using pencils or crayons. They're kind of bored of that, so they're really excited to use markers. And we had this whole lesson about, learning how to snap them closed and what happens if we don't snap them, our markers dry out, we end up having to throw them out. We talked about making sure once you put the marker, wait and listen until you hear that snap. And every time they heard that snap, it was like, wow, you heard it snap. You're great at closing markers. You remembered to close the markers. And there was all this hype and pumping them up about, remembering to close the markers, doing a good job. And kids were excited. And every time they closed the marker, they would say, oh, Miss Funda, come look. And they'd want me to hear that they're snapping the markers, which is great and just what we need for students to learn to close their markers. However, when you have a mixed age group in your classroom, which is what I have currently, so of course the older 4s and 5s and the young 6s, they are really good and have gotten so much better about closing the markers. Unfortunately, my 3-year-olds have not gotten the hang of closing the markers all the time. So I still have a container of markers that are missing their caps, and I have markers that have dried out, which is super frustrating because I can't run out and buy new markers every week. And since the classroom I am in is a Head Start classroom, that means we are not asking for any kind of supplies from the families to bring in. So it's definitely something that has to come out of the classroom budget or from the teacher's personal budget, which is usually what ends up happening. I don't remember where I saw it before, but I remember seeing a marker holder, and I thought that was a great idea. But I remember with that one, if I remember correctly, that the whole marker came out, including the cap. And I wanted to be able to make one on my own. My husband is really good at making stuff, so I went and asked him for help, and I really wanted to be able to get my hands in there and make it myself. So he helped me every step of the way. And we made this marker holder that you see right here. And the whole idea was to have the caps glued into the wood. So this would stay there forever. And when this marker dies, you would just throw this out. And when you buy the new purple marker that you're going to use, you just wouldn't use the cap. The cap would just still be there and you would just exchange the tops. And this way, even if the kids can't completely snap it closed, at least it will just sit like this, and it is less likely to dry if it's at least closed this way versus just hanging open completely. So the first thing we did is we measured the wood and checked to see what the dimension of the marker is to make sure that it fits into the hole. However, the drill bit that he did not have the exact size that we needed. He had a size that was much bigger or a little bit smaller. So we decided to go with the one that was a little bit smaller, thinking that we could melt the cover of the caps and put them in, making sure that they fit. After measuring and drilling the holes, we melted the caps and put them inside to make sure it fits, which looked super cool. I love how this turned out. First, we put a stain on it with this wood finish to give it that rich wood color. I really like how that turned out. And then we put some clear gloss on top of it. This is what I use. And the last thing was to glue the caps into the wood and let it dry for, I think it was about 24 to 48 hours. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope that this helps meet your marker needs if you have a classroom of kids that just don't know how to keep the covers on the markers. I hope it solves the problem for you. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Till next time, happy teaching!